Hi, it's Victoria Mackenzie here. Today I'm going to make for you a gluten-free blackberry muffin, which is very important for people who have celiac disease or who have an intolerance to gluten. So as a substitute for our flour, we'll be using almond meal. This is straight from the shop, so I buy it in bulk because I make so many of them. We'll be using coconut oil in place of butter or the other oils that have been molecularly changed. I prefer to use butters and coconut oils. We'll be using frozen blackberries. They were rather large this lot, so I've actually cut them up a little bit. We'll be using a whole lot of eggs and some honey. Now these are absolutely delicious, so stay tuned. We'll be into this recipe in a tick. But to make them, instead of using them in those heavy metal pans that we're used to using them in, we'll be using these silicone muffin cups, which are very similar to the paper ones we used to use and put inside the metal pans. So these are reusable, use again and again and again, easily washed and easily stored. You don't have the big storage problems that you have with the metal ones. So when you buy them from the completemuffinstore.com, they come in this little bag here, and on this bag you'll find a download link to get your free recipe book. They arrive, here we go, they arrive in a little PV tube like that. So all I do is when you first get these, just give them a rinse and then they're ready to go. And then just pop them either back in there or back in there. Now these are made from food grade silicone, the best you can get. They are 100% BPA free and of course FDA approved. So get a set of these from the completemuffinstore.com and let's get into this terrific gluten-free blackberry muffin recipe. So first of all, we take out the lumps. You can see this has got a lot of lumps in it. So we take the lumps out of our almond meal, which is fairly simple. And then, now what we do, we have some baking powder, 2 teaspoons. So I'll pop that in there, we mix that in. We'll get a lot of it actually, that's good. There we go. Have some cinnamon. Now this just gives it a nice little taste that when you make these, you'll see the difference it makes. So we'll pop those there. So these are really our only dry ingredients. So I'll just make sure we mix those up properly because we must have that baking soda mixed through really well. So this is the easiest way to do it, is to use a whisk like this. And twisting it like this is probably really good. So you can see the baking soda is going through because the cinnamon is going through, and they're pretty much equal quantities. The full recipe for this is below the video, by the way. So there we go. Now we've got our wet ingredients, which are 4 eggs. So we'll get those going. I like to use free-range eggs if I can get them. Usually you can. Now these recipes do vary a little bit because of the size of eggs and the size of it's a bit mucky now. The size of eggs, the type of flour, the season of the flour, they absorb more or they absorb less. So just be a little aware, and when you're making the recipe, just to sort of manipulate the ingredients just a little bit. So we'll come back for this whisk now. We'll whisk up the 4 eggs we've just popped in there. Now, it's probably easier if we've also got half a cup of lovely organic honey, which we'll pop in there as well. We have some terrific markets near here where I buy a lot of this produce. I'm sure if you can get it, I'm sure most people would prefer to eat this way, but sometimes it's very hard to get. There we go. So we'll mix that up with the egg while we mix the honey through. It's a little more difficult, so I thought I'd do it while I had the ingredients quite nice. I don't want to leave any on the sides. Whoops. That looks pretty good. Right, now coconut oil. Again, another organic product. It's a little harder to mix through, so but we do need to mix this through. We don't want lumps of coconut oil in our muffins, because we'll just have lumps of liquid really. So we'll get that going as best we can. Here we go. It's all looking good. Now, we need to fold through these. Let's level that out a little bit. Put a little hole in the middle and fold through these liquid ingredients into the dry ingredients before we put the these lovely blackberries. There we go. There we go. This is looking just a tad on the dry side, but I think by the time we get the blackberries in there, might be fine. A bit heavy for that spatula. I might use this. We take up all the dry. It's going to make a nice batch, probably 12 or 15 I reckon on this lot. Again, this is for people, well, not just for people with intolerances to flour, but people who prefer to have something that's got a lot more fibre in it, which this almond meal has. There we go, that's pretty good. Now, oh, we nearly forgot, a little bit of vanilla. I would probably put, about, oh, maybe a little bit more. Here we go, which is probably about 2 teaspoons. I'll just get that through. Because we should have put that in the liquids. Nearly forgot. But I think, yeah, it smells good. Go through nicely. Now for our blackberries. Now these were frozen, as I said. I didn't have access to fresh ones, so I have cut them up a little bit because they were some of these blackberries were that big. So we didn't want the muffin to be all blackberry. We actually wanted them to go through the lot. There we go. Bleeding right through, which is going to give them a fantastic colour. Get rid of that into the sink. There we go. Bit of hard work here. I want to make sure they're nicely mixed, evenly mixed if I can. It's just a few spots where I can still see the blackberries haven't got through. So I don't want somebody having a nice gluten-free blackberry muffin with no blackberry. There we go. Nearly there. So the last little bit down the bottom. Fantastic. Right, now we are ready. Might just wipe this down a little bit. Finished with the vanilla, so we'll pop that over there. I might just wipe this down a little bit so we've got a clean area here. Very lucky having a sink right next door. Here we are. Now we will get out our baking tray, which is here, and we'll get out our cups. We'll just pop them out like this. These, as I said, quite reusable. You don't need, the other thing, you don't need to oil them, which is just terrific, because these oils we use sometimes, they're not so hot in our bodies. Our liver doesn't deal with them very well. Here we are. Now, I've already set the oven for 375, so that's ready to pop these straight in. These, of course, are really great for kids' lunches, for snacks, hubby's lunch, as a little something sweet at the end of his, after he's eaten his main part. There we go. Now we'll pop this in the oven, and then I won't keep you here. I'll put the video back on again as we bring them out. So we'll pop them in now to 375. And I like to leave them in there. I start checking them about 15 minutes because they do vary, as I mentioned before. So they usually cook between the 15 and the 21 mark at the latest. So we'll come back when it's ready. Right, back again. Now these blackberry muffins have had about 18 minutes this time, 18 and a half minutes. They have probably gone a little dark, but they're ready now to come out of the oven. Ooh. Yes, they have gone a little dark, but what I wanted to show you was, if I can get them over here, and I can, there we go, just to show you how they have come up and how easily they pop out of these little muffin cups from the Complete Muffin store. So you just do that, and there they are. Look at that, clean. And then all we do is leave them there to cool, and then they're ready to be eaten. The gluten-free ones made with almond milk, the structure isn't quite as strong as when they're made with flour. So it's really actually a good idea to let them cool in their little cups, which I will do because it is fraught with danger when you leave them like that. So we'll let them cool in there, and then all we do is get the cups and give them a rinse, and they're ready for the next batch. So look, thank you for watching, and I hope you go to thecompletemuffinstore.com and grab a set of these silicone muffin cups. They're a fantastic present for people. We do have Christmas coming now, so they're a very good stocking filler. So grab a copy, and you'll get a free muslin bag, this little bag here, and you'll get a free muffin ebook recipe book of our favourite muffins. So thank you for watching, and subscribe to our channel, and you'll be kept up to date with all the latest recipes we'll be doing over the coming months. So thanks again for watching. Bye bye.